Distinguished guests from WIPO and the sister organizations, observers, APAA members, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Tokyo. On behalf of the APAA, I would like to announce the start of the APAA 50th anniversary celebration. My name is Mamiko Yoshida. I am Japanese patent attorney, and I am honored to be here to be your MC for this wonderful celebration. We are holding this ceremony to celebrate the APAA 50th anniversary and also hope to take this excellent opportunity to look back on our splendid history and further foster ties of mutual friendship and understanding worldwide through our international intellectual property community. Let me briefly explain today's program. After this opening ceremony, we will present a slideshow looking back on 50 years of APAA history in two parts. After an intermission, we will present a contributor award, and we will then have a photo session. Please remain in this room after the award. After the photo session, we will have a celebration party in the next room. I hope you will enjoy the APAA 50th anniversary celebration to the very end. Now, let's move on to the program. First of all, I am pleased to invite Mr. Hirohito Katsunuma, the president of APAA, onto the stage to give the welcoming remarks. Mr. Katsunuma, please come up to the stage.
Thank you, Ms. Yoshida. Thank you for your kind introduction. Hello, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear distinguished guests, my colleague, my friend, members and observers. I am so happy to have you here with us to celebrate this wonderful event in this wonderful place. We have many distinguished guests. Let me introduce them to you. Mr. Eric Wilbur, Director of WIPO. Thank you for coming, Eric, my good friends. Mr. Matthew Bryan, Director of WIPO. Thank you again. And oh, my good friends, Ms. Renata Ligeti, the President of AIPPI. And Mr. Aruno Holt, the first Vice President of AIPPI. Aruno, are you here? All right, okay, thank you. And Mr. Shoichi Okuyama, the second Vice President of AIPPI. Thank you very much. And Ms. Olga Chirakova, Secretary General of AIPPI. And finally, I want to find Mr. John Osha. Where are you? Oh, you are there. Okay. He is the Reporter General of AIPPI. Thank you. And this is again a very distinguished gentleman, Mr. Julian Cramp, President of FICPI. Thank you for coming. And Miss Elizabeth Chen Hale from ABA, are you? Ah, your seat is there. Please come in. Thank you for coming. And Miss Fiona Nicholson, President of ALI. Thank you. Long way. Thank you very much. And Mr. Soka Liang, my good friends, President of ASEAN IPA. Okay. Mr. David Hill, former President of AIPLA. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Also, former President of AIPLA, Mr. Alan Casper. Very nice. Right, okay. So all our past president, Mr. Kiyoshi Asamura, thank you. We owe you very much. Dato Kandan, president of former president. My good friend, Aru Ancheta. And Mr. C.K. Kwon. And immediate past president, Mr. Patrick Kim. Finally, my respect, Mr. Kenji Yoshida. Although there are so many people, I cannot mention your name, but dear colleague, dear friends, this is the, my really thanks, real thanks, because we couldn't make it without your help. So thank you very much. Welcome. So now, in today's gathering, we will thank all fathers and contributors of APAA. So let's, I believe after this session, we will decide, strive to a better APAA. So, well, I don't want to take too much time from you. So let's, so again, a very warm welcome to everybody. And let's start the APAA 50th anniversary celebration now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Katsunuma. Now, let's move on to the next part of the program, the slideshow. This slideshow will be presented by Ms. Marie-Jeanne Martenbacher, APAA Secretariat. Ms. Martenbacher, please come to the front.
Okay, Ms. Yoshida, thank you very much for your warm introduction. I am Marie-Jeanne Martenbacher, the Secretariat of the APAA, and I will be your MC for the next part of the program. To begin, we will have a presentation on how the APAA came to be, and then take a look at the history during the first 6 presidents' terms, from Dr. Yuasa up through Mr. Kim.
The APAA 50th anniversary celebration, the birth of the APAA. In 1969, man walked on the moon for the first time. Beatles fans were elated to welcome a new Beatles album, Abbey Road, not yet knowing that it would be their last. The very first messages were sent across a packet switching network called DARPANET, a network which we recognize today by the name Internet. And patent attorneys here in Tokyo formed a new organization, the Asian Patent Attorneys Association, the APAA. The idea that intellectual creations could be property, intellectual property, itself dates back centuries. Over these many, many years, the types of intellectual property given legal recognition grew, and so did our intellectual property profession. Just over 100 years ago, the IP world experienced a first renaissance, a silver age when the first international treaties recognized intellectual property across borders. These treaties in turn led to the establishment of the first international administration for IP rights, today known as WIPO. It was during this silver age that the first international associations for intellectual property professionals were established. Our elder sisters, the AIPPI, IPLA, and FICPI. As peaceful trade boomed in the second half of the 20th century, the desire to put men on the moon, to sell Beatles albums worldwide, and to connect the world with an internet included a desire to protect these technologies and creations and ideas. Intellectual property experienced its second renaissance, its golden age, and the practitioners here in the Asia region were among the first to recognize the growing value of IP. Here we see that the APA was the first international association of the Golden Age. The APAA is, in fact, the elder sister of all the associations and institutions we see here. Let's see how the APAA came to be. To do so, we have to look deep into the history of WIPO, to back when it was still known as Burpee. And especially to Burpee Deputy Director Dr. Arpod Boksh, who would go on to serve as Director General of WIPO from 1973 to 1997. As the value of intellectual property grew internationally, IP creators grew increasingly troubled by the cost of filing applications across multiple jurisdictions and discussed creating a centralized, multinational system for filing patent applications. At the request of one Burpee member nation, Dr. Boksh in February 1967 convened a meeting of representatives of the 6 member states with the highest volume patent offices. These were then the United States, the United Kingdom, and France, also 2 states that no longer exist as such today, the Soviet Union and what was then West Germany, and is the sole representative from the Asia region, Japan. The representatives met in Geneva for 3 days and outlined what would later that year take form as the first proposal for a central application process, giving it the name Patent Cooperation Treaty. It is widely credited that one of the reasons that ratification of the PCT was relatively smooth was the work of Arpod Boksh to involve as many stakeholders as possible from the very beginning. As part of that process, Mr. Boksh invited IP practitioners from Japan to provide their opinions as agents. From the Japan Patent Attorneys Association, 3 attorneys, Masao Okabe, Kiyoshi Asamura, and Nobuyuki Matsubara traveled to Geneva. The JPAA representatives were representatives from Asia, but not of Asia per se. As Burpee planned to convene the PCT conference, it was decided to involve organizations representing varied stakeholders as non-voting delegates. However, participation of professional organizations was, understandably, limited to multinational associations, not groups representing one nation only. Recognizing that Asian voices were highly diluted within the existing multinational professional associations, Mr. Boksh encouraged the JPA members to create a new association to be the voice of the Asian professionals. From this suggestion was born the APAA. The chairman of the Japan Patent Attorneys Association at that time, Dr. Kyozo Yuasa, heard the suggestion and decided that the JPAA should work to establish an international organization to represent Asian professionals at the PCT conference. Dr. Yuasa entrusted this task to the JPAA's International Activity Committee. The names of the members of that committee, listed here, will be immediately recognized by many, if not all, in this room. In June of 1969, exactly 50 years ago, the JPAA International Activity Committee members came up with a working name for the proposed organization, Asia Patent Attorneys Association, and by July drafted a basic concept of the organization. At the same time, Dr. Yuasa contacted two professionals with whom he had a personal relationship, Mr. Yin-Chen Lee of the Republic of China and Mr. Soo-Il Kim of the Republic of Korea, to learn the opinions of professionals outside of Japan and begin the process of forming a network. Enthusiastic responses were received from two other professionals, Mr. Min-Xing Lin and Mr. Byung-Ho Lee, both formally approving of working with the Japan Patent Attorneys Association to form a new multinational association representing IP professionals from Asia. A first important decision to be made was what would be the relationship between the new organization and the Japan Patent Attorneys Association. The JPAA subcommittee proposed that the new organization be established within and funded by the JPAA, something like an international extension of the JPAA itself. However, the board of directors of the Japan Patent Attorneys Association, meeting in August 1969, made a very important decision that the APAA should be established as a separate organization with the support of, but independent from, the JPAA. The JPAA established a special committee to form the new association and sent out formal invitations to patent attorneys in the Republic of Korea, the Republic of China, and Japan. Finally, on December 26, 1969, at the invitation of the JPAA, patent professionals from the Republic of China, the Republic of Korea, and Japan gathered at the Marunouchi Kaikan here in Tokyo to officially establish the new association. An important decision was made that the new organization would be governed by a group of counselors, elected from their respective groups, but each voting as individuals. The delegates elected the first counselors. From Japan, Dr. Kyozo Yuasa and Mr. Kiyoshi Inomata. From the Republic of China, Mr. Yinchen Li and Mr. Minsheng Lin. From Korea, Mr. Byung-ho Lee and Mr. Jai Kwan Yang. And they decided a name for the new association, the Asian Patent Attorneys Association, the APAA. The councilors elected a first president and vice presidents who presented their credentials to Dr. Boksh and were recognized by Burpee as a legitimate multinational association of patent professionals. And the APAA was born and functioning. We looked at all of the circumstances and people that came together 50 years ago to create the APAA. We will now compress the next 50 years into just a few minutes to paint an overall picture of the history that formed the APA as it exists today. From the beginning, it was decided that the APA would operate through local recognized groups. 29 professionals meeting in Korea in December 1969 formed the first group to be recognized, electing Mr. Byung-ho Lee as their first president. In March of 1970, the Japan group completed formation with Mr. Kiyoshi Inomata elected first president. In July 1971, the Republic of China group was formed with Mr. Joseph K. Tuanmo elected the first president. Going back to early 1970, immediately after the formation of the APAA, President Yuasa sent invitation to representatives of these other neighboring jurisdictions: Indonesia, Hong Kong, the Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand. Early response was slow, but eventually all 5 responded and contacts expanded. As of today, the APA recognizes 21 local groups, all shown here. The APA total membership has also grown steadily, increasing the voice of the APAA internationally. The APAA has had 12 presidents in its 50-year history. While the APA is an organization driven by its members, each president has left their mark on the association. We are especially fortunate that we will today be able to hear directly from the past presidents with us here today. We stand here today because of the work that began 50 years ago. We stand here today because of those who stood here in Tokyo 50 years ago. We stand here today because of the many, many who carried the torch forward for the next 5 decades. As we stand here today, let us begin our future by honoring our past.
Now, we will see images from the 50-year history of the APAA. We begin, of course, with the APAA's first president, Kyozo Yuasa. Mr. Yuasa was elected president at the APAA founding general meeting held in Tokyo in 1969. During his term, he presided over the Tokyo General Assembly in 1970, the Seoul Council meeting in 1970, the Tokyo Council meeting in 1971, the Taipei General Assembly in 1972, and the Hong Kong General Assembly in 1973. Mr. Yuasa retired in 1974 at the Seoul General Assembly. The photos from those days may at times be a bit blurry or faded, but they depict the people and history of the APAA. Next, we will introduce the second APAA president, Kiyoshi Inomata. Mr. Inomata was elected president at the APAA Seoul General Assembly in 1974. During his term, he presided over the Melbourne Council meeting in 1975, the Osaka General Assembly in 1976, the Bangkok Council meeting in 1977, the Yokohama Council meeting in 1978, the Hong Kong General Assembly in 1979, the Manila Council meeting in 1980, and the Queenstown Council meeting in 1981. Mr. Inomata retired in 1982 at the Pattaya General Assembly. Mr. Inomata served for a total of 8 years, the longest of all APAA presidents. Next, our third president, Masao Okabe. Mr. Okabe was elected president at the Pattaya General Assembly in 1982. During his term, he presided over the Taipei Council meeting in 1983, the Penang Council meeting in 1984, the Tokyo General Assembly in 1985, the Broad Beach Council meeting in 1986, and the Singapore Council meeting in 1987. Mr. Okabe retired in 1988 at the Seoul General Assembly. Our fourth president, William D. Howe, was elected at the Seoul General Assembly in 1988. During his term, he presided over the Kobe Council meeting in 1989, the Manila Council meeting in 1990, the Auckland General Assembly in 1991, the Chiang Mai Council meeting in 1992, and the Kuala Lumpur Council meeting in 1993. Mr. Howe retired in 1994 at the Niigata General Assembly. Let us pause for a moment of silence in memory of the first four APAA presidents, Mr. Yuasa, Mr. Inomata, Mr. Okabe, and Mr. Howe. Now, we will see some videos from the 1991 Auckland General Assembly. The venue was the Pan Pacific Hotel.
I go back.
Mr. Ancheta said to me, what will happen on Monday if it's still raining and we're going sailing? My answer to him and my answer to you is, we will get wet. The first item I would like to deal with is to extend to you a very warm welcome to our 32nd Council meeting.
Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say now is that I have great pleasure in welcoming you all to Auckland, in wishing you a wonderful and pleasant stay in our city, and formally declaring open the 9th General Assembly of the Asian Patent Attorneys Association. Thank
It's looking at doing that right now.
Approval has in fact been granted.
The listing does not have a problem.
U.S.
The fifth president, Kiyoshi Asamura, was elected at the Niigata General Assembly in 1994. We are very happy that Mr. Asamura is here with us today. During his term, Mr. Asamura presided over the Hong Kong Council meeting in 1995, the Taipei Council meeting in 1996, the Sydney General Assembly in 1997, the Singapore Council meeting in 1998, and the Gyeongju Council meeting in 1999. Mr. Asamura retired in 2000 at the Cebu General Assembly.
Mr. Kiyoshi Asamura, I would like you to please share some memories from your presidency.
Thank you for having me today. Looking back at the APA history, I was involved in the preparation from the start. Fortunately, I'm still alive. I can attend the 50 years anniversary event. During my 6 years presidency, we had 2 mid-year inter-cooperation meetings. First meeting was Jakarta, Indonesia in June 1997. Second meeting was Dhaka, Bangladesh, March 1998. International Cooperation Committee was established in 1988 as a policy-making body. The ICC is similar to the EXCOM, ADCOM meeting now exists. My second issue is the China. At the 1995 Hong Kong Council meeting, we made a resolution that we welcome Chinese patent agent to our association and sent formal invitation letter to the All China Patent Agent Association. Unfortunately, however, we have not received any favorable response from them yet. We are hoping that Chinese patent agent and patent attorneys join APA in the near future. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Asamura.
The sixth president, Myung-Shin Kim, was elected at the Cebu General Assembly in 2000. During his term, he presided over the Phuket Council meeting in 2001 and the Wellington Council meeting in 2002. Mr. Kim retired in 2003 at the Kota Kinabalu General Assembly. Mr. Kim cannot be with us today as he is in Myanmar performing volunteer service for a medical charity. During President Kim's term, we celebrated the 30th anniversary of the APAA by producing an anniversary book and DVD. Let's see some scenes from the DVD.
30 years of the Asian Patent Attorneys Association. Objects of APAA. The objects of APAA shall be to foster ties of mutual friendship and understanding among those who are practicing the profession of patent attorney in the Asian region, and through such ties to promote the protection of intellectual property in the said region. Of December 31st, 1998. Australia, 135. Bangladesh, 16. Brunei, 5. Hong Kong, 107. India, 50. Indonesia, 13. Japan, 611. Korea, 249. Malaysia, 33. Nepal, 1. New Zealand, 36. Pakistan, 43. Philippines, 66. Singapore, 76. Sri Lanka, 6. Taiwan, 150. Thailand, 49. Vietnam, 33. Total members, 1,679. AA. In the Bangkok Council meeting, it was decided to have an official emblem of APAA. In fact, 5 marks were suggested as shown. Finally, B mark was selected and approved by the Hong Kong General Assembly in 1978. The color of the emblem is Pacific blue with a white background. Several photos from minutes or group photos taken at General Assemblies and council meetings, and several scenes were chosen from videotapes taken in Auckland, New Zealand, Hong Kong, Taipei, and Singapore meetings. In the new millennium. APAA.
Now, I will tell you about the author of the APAA logo. The winning logo was designed by Fumio Kawazoe. Although Mr. Kawazoe has passed away, his memory lives on in our logo, which is recognized worldwide by those in our field.
Now we will take a 15-minute break and resume promptly at 2:35. Now we will continue our look at the history of the APAA from the 7th President, Dato Kandan, to the current 12th President, Mr. Katsunuma.
Our 7th President, Dato V.L. Kandan, was elected at the Kota Kinabalu General Assembly in 2003. He then presided over the Fukuoka Council meeting in 2004 and the New Delhi Council meeting in 2005. Dato Kandan retired in 2006 at the Gyeoljong General Assembly. Dato Kandan is here with us today. Some scenes from the 2004 Fukuoka Council meeting convened during Dato Kandan's term.
風に戸惑う弱気な僕通り過 がるあの日の影本当は見た目以上涙もろい過去がある透明度流るさやか水よけせどもゆる魔性の日よあんなに好きな人に出会う夏は二度とない人は誰も愛求めて闇にさまよう定めそして風任せ Oh my destiny 涙枯れるまで見つめ合うと素直におしゃべりできない津波のような寂しさに I know 怯えてめくり会えた時から魔法が解けない鏡のような夢の中で思い出はいつの日も雨夢の中には風任せ魚眼レンズで君を覗いて熱い乳房を抱き寄せりゃ自分勝手に空を飛ぶ惚れた晴れたの真ん中で電気ショックを味わいながら濡れたさがほど怪しい気にゴゾロップをかけてゆく恋人としてから飲むロマンティックなあのジュース涙を見せるように生きていたいだけさ抱きしめて私は私の喉がからそんな愛こそ全て女は女夜もバラバラ我はエロティカセブン黒い悪魔がやってきてハードコアな気持ちでさせる一度決めたらやめられる中途半端なワールじゃないもう一度だけ歌にしてこの島黒フルコース奥歯も凍るようなキスをしたいだけさ誰よりも私は私の力から愛の嵐の中で女は女化けてキラキラ君もエロティカセブン
Dato Kandan, I would now like to ask you to please share some memories of your presidency.
Let me begin by paying tribute to the late Mr. Masao Okabe and my brother here, Kiyoshi Asamura, for giving me the opportunity to lead this illustrious organization when they invited me during the Wellington meeting in 2002. Those were the days, my friends, when the president was appointed by consensus, not by ballot box. Rather divisive nowadays. As far as my presidency went, two things that stand out would be the conversion of a fellowship, friendship gathering into a business meeting of the APAA. The executive committee, now known as the EXCOM, was created, and the rather non-performing International Cooperation Committee was converted into an advisory committee, EDCOM, to advise the president. Let me tell you what I failed to achieve. The International Cooperation Committee was formed with the sole purpose of getting patent attorneys, IP practitioners from the People's Republic of China to join APAA. Ichio Shamoto, Alan Cheta, and I, on the instruction of Myung-Shin Kim, made trips to Taiwan and Beijing to bridge the gap. We did not succeed. To date, the Chinese have not come into our membership. Because members of the profession from China are not here, I believe the Director General of WIPO has failed to make physical appearance at our meetings. Although Mr. Francis Gurry, Dr. Francis Gurry, my dear friend, has through teleconferencing blessed our conferences in the past. So, let me wish APAA another 50 years of good progress, and please expand to the rest of Asia, because the Asian region now stops at Pakistan, not beyond that part of Asia. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dato Kandan.
Our 8th president, Alonzo Ancheta, was elected at the Kaohsiung General Assembly in 2006. During his term, he presided over the Adelaide Council meeting in 2007 and the Singapore Council meeting in 2008. Mr. Ancheta retired in 2009 at the Hong Kong General Assembly. We also have some scenes of the 2006 Kaohsiung General Assembly, where Mr. Ancheta became president.
Mr. Alonzo Ancheta, I will now like to ask you to please share some memories of your presidency.
I wish to extend to our guests and to all of you, my friends, this feeling of sentimentalism when I saw you here. And that greeting is the word FLU, friendship, love, and understanding. And I trust that my remarks will be taken in that spirit, in the spirit of friendship, love, and understanding. I was given guidelines on what to say. First is the goals. My goal then was to make changes to conform to good governance and to the statutes. And in this connection, these changes included the groundwork for the election of the president by the councilors themselves. And of course, there were reforms on administration and structure and all that. But all of this was the reason why I must have been called the most unpopular or controversial president that APA ever had. Because not many agreed with these changes that I was proposing, and simply because for 37 years at that time, everything worked out well. So why change it? Anyway, because of these changes, let me go now to the next guideline, which is the momentous event during my term. At the beginning of my term, I came to Tokyo to lay out my plans and my programs. And understandably, the Japan group was not receptive, and that is very understandable, of course. Well, I took that occasion to say to them, and this is what I said, and imagine me as the child of APAA. Please, for the last 37 years, you have been giving me tender, loving care, and this time, please allow me to do and manage myself by myself from now on. And there was a response from one of the group, and this is the momentous thing. He said, come on, Al, don't let us cry. And that response came from our President Hiro Katsumura. And years later, about 3 years later, he came to me and said, I'm sorry, Al, for not understanding you in the beginning, and please. Anyway, I called them my tormentors then, but they are fondly called, and I had that good experience of interacting with them. The next ground would be, or the guideline would be, the frustrations. Of course, it was even said that one of the frustrations of the association is the failure of China to respond positively to our invitations. And this, despite the fact that we have all made efforts on that matter. But my second frustration was the various debates that we've had with and among members of my team. And that resulted in loss of time and delay in the implementation, adoption of the programs. And the last thing, and shortly, is what would be my advice to future presidents? I would advise them something like this, that your loyalty to your home group would end when the interests of APAA begin to conflict with the interests of your group. So that is my advice, that when you are elected president, you become president rather of your entire APAA, and if there should be any conflict, prefer the interests of APAA. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ancheta, for your speech.
The APAA's ninth president, Kenji Yoshida, was elected at the Hong Kong General Assembly in 2009. He then presided over the Jeju Council meeting in 2010 and the Manila Council meeting in 2011. Mr. Yoshida retired in 2012 at the Chiang Mai General Assembly. Here we will look at the video message given by WIPO Director General Dr. Guri to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the APAA. This message was presented at the opening ceremony of the 2010 Jeju Council meeting during President Yoshida's term.
President Kenji Yoshida, distinguished senior vice presidents, honorary presidents, past presidents, councillors, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you all. I should have liked to be there in Korea to share this important occasion with you in person. However, I am delighted to at least have this opportunity via technological means to express to you a few thoughts at the initiation of this 58th Council meeting of the Asian Patent Attorneys Association. First, let me offer to the APAA leadership and all of its members my heartiest congratulations and warmest wishes as APAA celebrates its 40th anniversary. This is a very notable accomplishment, and we're the first to know this because we at the World Intellectual Property Organization are also celebrating this year our 40th anniversary. That is 40 years since the entry into force of the convention establishing WIPO. And as they say, life begins at 40 for both of us. I think it's very interesting to note the linked histories of our two organizations. Now, as I understand it, on May 1 and 2, the 1st and 2nd of May 1969, there was a meeting of consultants on a plan for a patent cooperation treaty that was held in Geneva. That meeting was sponsored by WIPO's predecessor organization, the United International Bureau for the Protection of Intellectual Property, known by the acronym of BIRPI. And it was attended by 3 representatives of the Authorized Association of Japanese Patent Attorneys, namely Mr. Kiyoshi Asamura, now APAA past president, Mr. Masao Okabe, now APAA honorary president, and Mr. Nobuyuki Matsubura. After the meeting, the Japanese delegates were informed that non-governmental organisations representing only one country would not be invited to future diplomatic conferences. By the way, our practice has changed since that time, but that was the practice at the time. And so the Secretariat suggested that to continue their presence, they might want to form an international non-governmental organisation in Asia. In order to be invited to the next diplomatic conference, they had to move quite fast. The diplomatic conference on the Patent Cooperation Treaty was to be held in the spring of 1970, so the new institution had to be created by the end of 1969 at the latest. The Japanese delegates and their neighbours proved to be very, very motivated, and on December 26, 1969, the inaugural assembly of this new Asian regional NGO was held in Tokyo. The 19 patent attorneys in attendance adopted the name of the Asian Patent Attorneys Association, and the institution of which you are all members was ready now to take flight. As you know, the successful PCT diplomatic conference was held from May 25 to June 19th in 1970 in Washington, D.C. And first on the list among the NGOs attending the conference was the APAA, represented by Messrs. Yuasa, Inomata, Asumura, Okabe, Shimosaka, and Fukuda from Tokyo, Mr. Lee from Seoul, and Mr. Lin from Taipei. It's interesting to reflect on just how successful the PCT has been as an instrument of international cooperation. We now have, in the 40 years that have passed, 144 member states, and around 160,000 international patent applications are filed under it each year. So we're very grateful for the impetus that the APAA also gave to this successful instrument of international cooperation. And just as the PCT has come to become the leading instrument for international patent applications, and WIPO with it, the APAA has grown remarkably in the last 40 years. From those 19 initial patent attorneys, I'm informed that there are now close to 2,500 members from almost 25 countries in the region, with interesting possibilities for further expansion. For me, it's been a true privilege to work with and to come to know many of APAA's officials, councillors, and members over the years. And I feel a particular affinity for the aims and objectives of APAA, both as a national and former practitioner from one of your member countries, Australia, and also because early on in my career at WIPO, I was fortunate to work in the Regional Bureau for Asia and the Pacific and to discover much about intellectual property in this very dynamic and vibrant region. I've great pleasure to note the statement by the current president, Kenji Yoshida, in his president's message. He states that APAA can best serve its members and our region as a whole by actively cooperating with WIPO and by using every opportunity to transmit our APAA voice to the world at large. WIPO really welcomes that engagement and cooperation and commits its full support. We very much appreciate having valued partner institutions like APAA with which we can cooperate and with which we share so many common objectives. By working together, we can come closer towards achieving our goal of a balanced and accessible international intellectual property system, one which rewards creativity, stimulates innovation, and contributes to economic development while safeguarding the public interest. President Yoshida, distinguished colleagues, dear friends, let me once again pass on my warmest congratulations on this auspicious occasion of APAA's 40th anniversary. I wish you much success at the 58th Council meeting, and I look forward to the continuation of our very close cooperation together. Thank you.
Mr. Kenji Yoshida, I will now like to ask you to please share some memories of your presidency.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ghani, to warm address to the APAA. And during my time, I was very happy to see the Myanmar was joining APAA as the 18th recognized group. However, this is not my result. This issue has been done by two of my eldest brother, Dato Kandan and Alonso Anchetas. Thank you very much for your tremendous efforts to invite Myanmar to our APAA. Thank you very much. And other one, during my time, I went to Karachi, Pakistan. That was a very big issue for me. Because those days, I was invited to visit Karachi by Mr. Mohammed Barucha, who was the president of Pakistan group. And some of the hesitation, after this hesitation, I decided to visit Karachi, and EXCOM, ADOCOM, many of them, they accompanied me. That was a very happy thing I was. And Karachi, there was a quiet and calm city. On the other hand, that city there was dynamically expanded to the other area. That was a very remarkable thing I have. And I believe and I hope that in future, Karachi or the other Pakistan city, they can have an international exchange, for example, and holding seminar like that. That was my hope. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yoshida.
Our 10th president, C.K. Kwong, was elected at the Chiang Mai General Assembly in 2012 and presided over the Hanoi Council meeting in October 2013 and the Penang Council meeting in November 2014. Mr. Kwong retired in 2015 at the Okinawa General Assembly.
Mr. C.K. Kwong, I would like to ask you to please share some memories of your presidency.
Thank you, Mary John, President Kazunuma, all the presidents in this hall, past, present, and future, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I was elected as the 10th president of the association in 2012. It was a privilege and responsibility which came to view. The open election in Chiang Mai was an important milestone in the evolution of our association. Article 11 of our statutes, which was drawn by with the foresight of our founding fathers, was first used after waiting for 43 years for an open election at a time when our association matured from a 3-jurisdiction to a 24 jurisdiction broad-based organization. And when having a choice, democracy, transparency, and equal opportunity to participate become important values. My goal then was to internally build capacity on all fronts. Externally, to raise the profile of our recognized groups within their own jurisdictions, and our association internationally within the international IP community. One of my major initiatives was the APAA Academy. It has 3 streams: education, publication, and conference program. The project is important, I consider, for the association and the region, because within Asia there are many countries, and they have different stages of development in economy, industry, and IP systems. It is necessary for us to intensify the development of the IP profession and to achieve a higher common standard. And we joined hands with WIPO. We have WIPO friends here. And we developed this education program. The ultimate aim is to have our training course to be recognized for professional accreditation. And various initiatives are now consolidated and further advanced by the current administration. We now have an enlarged advisory committee in place of the round table. We have an improved website. We have the conference menu for knowledge management, which is continuously updated. And our training program has developed a life of its own and marched onto the 5th year, and with new courses to be added. Well, according to the guidelines, I was asked whether I have any regrets. The answer to that is no. I have no regrets in devoting my time and my energy to the association. Looking into the future, I would like to see permanent office premises for the association, an enhanced secretariat to support our future presidents and membership growth, an extension of our geographical footprint to the entire Asian continent. And to wrap up my advice for the future presidents, actually, I will share with you Bill Gates' wisdom on happiness. According to him, there are 4 elements: commitment to your career and your vision, giving, only by giving to others that you can gain more, health, treat your body like a temple, especially important at this stage of our life, and then love your family and your friends. But I would like to add a 5th element to that. That is balancing, the ability to balance all these 4 elements. If you have a good balance of these 4 elements, you will be happy as Bill Gates, but you don't need to have as much money as him. And having served the association or joined the association for 36 years, I'm still very passionate about APAA. I'm proud of the association, proud of Hong Kong, proud of Asia, and I thank you all for your friendship and support. Thank you.
Mr. C.K. Kwong, thank you very much.
The 11th APAA President, Patrick Kim, was elected at the APAA Okinawa General Assembly in 2015. During his term, he presided over the Bali Council meeting in 2016 and the Auckland Council meeting in 2017. Mr. Kim retired in 2018 at the New Delhi General Assembly. Do you remember Okinawa 3 years ago? It was the last General Assembly of President Patrick Kim. Let's see some footage from that time.
Mr. Patrick Kim, I would now like to ask you to please share some memories of your presidency.
Thank you, Mari-chan. And distinguished guests, members, and ladies and gentlemen. During my presidency, I tried to make the management of the association more democratic and efficient. while assisting enhancements of IP systems in the IP developing countries in our jurisdiction. To achieve a more democratic management, I introduced an electronic voting system to the council meeting, which was recognized as being very successful for making democratic decisions. To achieve a more efficient management, I reduced the number of the EDCOM members so that the expenses for the EDCOM meeting could be reduced. And I introduced the president-elect system and shortened the term of the president to 2 years with no consecutive term for the president. The system has been enacted twice and was found to be successful as well. To achieve assisting enhancement of IP system and practice IP attorneys in IP developing countries, I found that the trademark practice was more important than patent and attractive in those countries. So, as the first step, I provide a half-day seminar on trademark practice in Cambodia, Nepal, Myanmar, and Laos last year. And with such activity, we have successfully established recognized groups in Cambodia, Nepal, and Laos during my presidency. I hope this kind of seminar can be provided to other IP countries as well continuously. My last goal during my presidency was to minimize the registration fee for our annual conferences. To achieve that, I provide a certain amount of subsidy to the organizing committee to reduce a certain amount of the registration fee for our annual conferences, which was successfully done at the last year's New Delhi conference in India. I hope the management of the association can be improved continuously, and friendship, love, understanding, and harmonization between the members can also be enhanced perpetually. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Kim, thank you very much.
Finally, our current president, Mr. Hirohito Katsunuma. Mr. Katsunuma was elected the 12th APAA president at the APAA New Delhi General Assembly in 2018. We will ask Mr. Katsunuma to say a few words about what we hope is the bright future of the APAA.
Mr. Hirohito Katsunuma, we would like to ask you to please say a few words.
Thank you, Marijan. Well, we view the slides and listen to the past presidents, and we learned the history of the APAA. As the 12th current president, I'm supposed to draw a picture of the future APAA. So as we learn, the generation by generation, the APAA introduced democracy, transparency, and academy, and also statutes, revisions, regulations are always keep on revised. So everything seems good for APAA, but I have to say, sorry, we are now in the midst of the technology era, new technology era. So you can retrieve informations instantly from the internet. And also you can learn, for example, how to draft a patent application, through internet. Yeah, for example, the Tube or some editorial videos. Even you can sit on the couch and eat potato chips and learn how to draft a patent application. So this is lessening our role of the APAA. I have to say, honestly, many other international associations is now suffer for the reducing of the members. So what can we do? Because we can, as I said, the internet is very easy and very convenient. So as the internet grows, is the role of APA ending? This is my question. But my answer is no, I don't think so. Because people still want to see people. Why? Because through internet, it is very difficult to convey your sincerity or thanks or your friendship to your friend. So that's why people still want to come to see people. But to come to see people, just exchanging the name card is no use because we don't know who is this guy there. So it is necessary to provide some informations of the people who you don't know. So what I am doing now is try to provide a service to each individual. We are now, first, we are organizing our database of the active members. If we have all the details contact of each member, we can provide the information directly to each member. For example, we can provide e-newsletter, which we are doing now, but to each member directly. And also we can provide informations of the patent surgery, for example, when or where we are going to have this educational course to each member directly. So member can easily know what is going on in our association. So second, we are now making a public publication project, which is any individual member can, if he has some information, he can post it to our website, and that is open to the world. So each even individual member can contribute to the APAA if he has good information. So as the reflect of the effects, we will have the very fresh information or fresh thought. So this is the second one. And third one, we are now planning to make an internal community in the cyberspace, which is, if you have some questions, even you are very experienced professional practitioner, but in some particular situations, you don't know the answer. So the member can post his question to this internal community. So if another member knows the answer, he can post the answer. So through this communication, maybe the questioner and the respondent can communicate each other on the base of their knowledge. So they can even know each other in the cyberspace, and then it is useful for them to meet each other face to face. For example, in APAA meeting, maybe this one will promote the business of the members also. This is the third one. And fourth one, this is the most important. I think APAA is Asian organization. So Asian organization, what is the importance for the Asian people? We are like a big umbrella or a big home. We accommodate many different cultures, and we accept many different people. Even observers come to our APA meeting. I am very welcome to these people because under big umbrella, under home, and you can see our logo. For me, that looks like a home, right? So I have to say, for the future APAA, many people have different ideas. Of course, I will accommodate it and I will accept that. But the final goal is make a better APAA with your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, APAA President Katsunuma. We will now take a 15-minute break, and there will be coffee and hot tea served in the room to my right.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Now, I would like to start the award ceremony. As we are now all aware from the slideshow, WIPO actively contributed to the APAA from its establishment. We are grateful for WIPO's continued support since the establishment, and in particular, their kind dispatch of speakers to APAA annual meetings. Their highly distinguished speakers have always enriched our meetings. APAA wish to express our sincere appreciation and award contribution trophies to Dr. Francis Gurry, WIPO Director General, Mr. Eric Wilbers, the Director of WIPO Arbitration and Mediation Center, and Mr. Matthew Bryan, the Director of PCT Legal and User Relations Division. Unfortunately, Dr. Francis Gurry could not be here with us today. Please welcome Mr. Eric Wilbers and Mr. Matthew Bryan.
So, thank you for coming. First, I would like to show our appreciation to Dr. Francis Gurry. Unfortunately, he is not in here, so Mr. Eric Wilbur will receive the award on behalf of Dr. Francis Gurry. Thank you very much for long-term support. Thank you very much. And the second trophy is to Mr. Eric Wilbur, himself. Thank you very much, Eric. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Please, yeah. One moment, please. Right, now I would like to express our appreciation to Mr. Matthew Bryan, Director of WIPO. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for your long-term support. Thank you very much. So I would like to ask Mr. Eric Wilbur to give us some words. Please.
Well, arigato, Hiro-san, and distinguished past presidents and ladies and gentlemen, friends, I would like also to be able to say, also on behalf of my good colleague, and much more important in fact, but that's a secret, Mr. Bryan behind me here right now. I hold in my hands this very kind trophy given to me, but I should be holding in my hands as I speak the trophy given to Dr. Gurry. He spoke himself quite eloquently, I felt, in the video which we saw about an hour ago. There's not that much to add to that. I think he has really said it all when it comes to the relationship between WIPO and APAA, which is really closely intertwined, I would say uniquely so, much more so than many other equally well-intentioned organizations in IP. The fates of patenting, the fates of WIPO as an organization and as an NGO, APAA, are closely connected essentially since the birth and the preparations for the PCT, which Matt here is representing, of course. And that's unique if you think about it. And I had actually prepared a range of statistics. I think as patent attorneys and as lawyers, we know our way around words, but we also know a few things about numbers. I'm going to skip all that because I think you've done a very good job at describing APA's history yourself very, very well. I would just like to end with one, in a sense, statistic that is very, very telling. Last year, the number of patent applications from Asia under the PCT system reached the majority of PCT applications, 50.5%. And I think that there's no better testimony to the importance of your organization and our gratitude as WIPO to you as individual practitioners as well, and all the members that are not in the room today, than this statistic, which is truly, truly impressive. So thank you very much, also on behalf of Matt, for our prizes, and especially for the one to Mr. Gurry, which really means to WIPO. Thank you and congratulations. Thank you.
Now, let's move on to the Observer Award. We are fortunate that our colleagues outside APAA have been participating in APA's annual meetings as observers from about 50 countries or regions every year. This proves that we are achieving our goal to foster ties of mutual friendship widely around the world, highlighting our values. On behalf of the observers, we would like to award Mr. David W. Hill, a former president of AIPLA from the US. Mr. Hill participates in the APAA meetings every year, also as a speaker. Please welcome Mr. David W. Hill.
David Hill, as a good friend and as the president of APA, I thank you very much for long-term support to our association. Thank you very much. Can you give us some words?
I'm happy to do that, yes. Well, first of all, it's an honor and a privilege for me to represent the many, many observers who have attended these meetings for the past 50 years. I myself haven't been attending for 50 years. My first meeting was actually 1986 in Broadbeach in Australia. I moved to Japan with my family in 1986, and one of the first things I did was ask a close friend and client about APAA. And he kindly introduced me at a luncheon to Mr. Kazuo Sato and Mr. Nishimura, who was then the president of the Japanese group of APAA. And they sponsored me for my first attendance at the APAA meeting in Australia. Immediately, I realized what a wonderful organization this was. As Al Anchetta has always said, it was friendship, love, and understanding that marked this organization. There were only about 400 people at that meeting, but I got to know so many people because of the friendship that was extended to me at that meeting and to other observers. Actually, there were only about 7 or 8 from the US at that time, at that meeting. So I decided I would attend these meetings, and fortunately, I've attended all but one since that time, about 32 years, I think. I have benefited greatly, as has my family, from attending APAA. Some of my best friends over the years resulted from people I met through the APAA. Interestingly, one of my best friends in Germany, I met at the first APAA meeting. We've been close friends ever since, and many other people. As you recall the video, I was in one of those dragon boats, which crashed into the other dragon boat, which was actually, Alan Casper was in the other dragon boat, and we sank that boat. Anyway, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here and thank APAA on behalf of all the observers over the years for this award. Thank you.
Now, let's move on to the APAA President Award to recognize our past presidents for their contribution over the 50 years of that APAA's existence. APAA has an APAA Enduring Award and presents this award at the annual meetings. However, because it has been ruled that past presidents are not eligible as candidates for the APAA Enduring Award, no past presidents have received any award. So today, let's be a little nicer to past presidents and express our gratitude for their tremendous contribution to APAA. Although we wish to award all the past presidents, it is very unfortunate that we are unable to do so because the first 4 presidents, Mr. Kyozo Yuasa, Mr. Kiyoshi Inomata, Mr. Masao Okabe, and Mr. William D. Howe, have passed away. Although we cannot award them today, we do not forget their immense contribution to establishing and developing APAA. We also announced that as Mr. M.S. Kim, the 6th president, cannot be here today, Mr. K.C. Kukjan-an will kindly receive the award on behalf of Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim could not come because he's involved in a volunteer medical service in Myanmar. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Asamura, our 5th president. Mr. Asamura, please come up to the stage. On behalf of Mr. M.S. Kim, our 6th president, Mr. K.C. Kukjan-an, please come up to the stage. Dato Kandam, our 7th president. Mr. Anchera, our 8th president. Mr. Yoshida, our 9th president. Mr. C.K. Kwan, our 10th president. And Mr. Patrick Kim, our 11th president. Thank you very much.
So, Mr. Samura, thank you very much for long-term support and give us today. Thank you very much. Mr. An, you will receive this prize on behalf of the Myung-Shin Kim. So I would say thank you to Myung-Shin Kim and you. Thank you very much. Dato, please. Dato Kandan introduced the logical thinking to APAA. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Arlancheta, Mr. Arlancheta. I'll introduce the democracy, transparent. Oh, no, it's a flu. It's a friendship, love, and understanding. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Yoshida, thank you very much. You contribute to APAA. That's why we can have this one today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, my dear C.K. Kwon, you also you give us the engine to promote IPAA. Thank you very much. Really, thank you. Thank you very much. Patrick Kim, you are too immediate to me, so I got too many things from you. Thank you very much for hard working for APAA. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So now, representing all the past president, I would like to receive some words from Mr. Asamura.
My thanks speech is very short. Well, on behalf of all past presidents, I would like to thank APAA and President Katsunuma for this special award. As a senior member, I continue to make every effort to contribute to the further growth of APAA. Thank you very much.
Today, APAA has 20 recognized groups. However, at the time it was first established, we had only 3 recognized groups, but with extraordinary members. Their dreams, ambitions, and passion developed APAA to today's outstanding international associations. The APAA Founding Group Award will be presented in the order of establishment of the recognized groups. Representing Korea Recognized Group, Mr. Casey Cook Jan M. Please come up to the stage. Representing the Japan Recognized Group, Mr. Takao Ochi. Please come up to the stage. Representing the Taiwan Recognized Group, Mr. King Song Lai and Ms. Jennifer Lin. Please come up to the stage.
Thank you very much. This is a prize to the Korean group. Thank you for being the founding member as APA. Thank you very much. Mr. Ochi, thank you very much. The Japan group is always very powerful and helpful to APA. Thank you very much. Yes, yes. Jennifer Lin, and please, Kim Sun Lai. Thank you very much. We are today because of Taiwan Group found this organization. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I would like to receive some words from the Taiwan Group representing these 3 founding group. Jennifer, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, past president, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jennifer Lin from Taiwan. It's a distinct honor and a privilege for me to receive this award on behalf of the Taiwan Group. This organization was established 50 years ago by Japan, Korea, and Taiwan. But my understanding of the history of this organization is slightly different from the official line. I was told that Mr. M.S. Lin from Taiwan, and he made the original proposal to our Korean and the Japanese colleagues to organize this organization after he returned from the AIPPI Congress in Venice. And that's why, but with all the support from the Korean and Japanese group, they successfully established this organization. I hope this version is the correct one. Anyway, because of their wise decision, we are able to celebrate this 50 years anniversary. Many thanks to all of them. Taiwan has been a very faithful and active members of this organization in the past 50 years. We have organized 3 General Assembly and 4 Council meetings, not including the Taipei meeting to be held this November. And we have now 240 members. I think Taiwan is very much committed to this organization and wish to thrive along with APAA. I personally joined this organization in the year of 1983. I guess that's the same year for CK Kwon. That was during Mr. Okabe Sensei's presidency. I think I'm so happy to be part of the big family. I wish to take the chance to thank APAA for all the incredible experience and the wonderful friends it has brought to me. Today, I also want to recognize all the past presidents of APA Taiwan, including Kingston Lai and Jackie Lin, and who are sitting also in here. Because of all the past presidents' contribution, I think APA Taiwan has been a very powerful organization, a very powerful pattern organization in Taiwan. Also, in the end, I'd like to speak a few words for Joyce Ho and Jackie Lin, who are the organizing committee of the council meeting this year to be held in November. For all of you, if you have not registered for this event, please hurry up. I think the deadline for early bird registration is the end of June. Okay. Everybody should come. It will be a wonderful event. Okay, and thank you to Mr. Katsunuma and also the organizing committee of this historical event. Happy 50 years anniversary to APAA. Thank you.
Well, as I said, there are many people have different ideas, different story. We must accept that. We accommodate that. Thank you.
As we all know, secretariats play key roles in ensuring the smooth operation of any association. APAA was very fortunate that we had Mr. Sadafumi Kobori, Secretary General, and Mr. Ryuichi Okuda, Secretariat, working for almost 10 years. And they assisted our presidents in achieving efficient operations while avoiding problems. With their efforts and dedication, APAA had successfully developed without major problems. This is remarkable if we consider our size and diversity. Mr. Kobori and Mr. Okuda both served for APAA while working also at Mr. Asamura's office. Unfortunately, Mr. Kobori could not come today for health reasons. On behalf of Mr. Kobori, Mr. Takeuchi, the current Secretary General, will receive the award. Mr. Takeuchi and Mr. Okuda, please come up to the stage.
So, unfortunately, Mr. Kobori-san is not feel well now. I hope that he will become better, but still, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to him. So, Mr. Takeuchi will receive his prize on behalf of him, please. Thank you very much for Mr. Kobori. Thank you very much, and for you, thank you very much. And Mr. Okuda, thank you very much for long-term service to APA as the APA Secretariat. Thank you very much. today's session. And let me introduce this very Japanese gentleman. He helped me very much, Mr. Yokouchi. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will return the mic to Ms. Yoshida. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the APA 50th anniversary celebration. I hope you all had a pleasant time. To commemorate today's ceremony, we will now take a photo of you. So please join the photo session.